So the new jobs numbers are really, really bad news for Trump, and he knows it. For all of the ways that I don't like Joe Biden and Democrats were terrible about messaging this fact, the economy did very well under Joe Biden. We saw tremendous job growth, and Donald Trump is taking all of that away. His chaotic, terrible policies are hurting everybody in this country, and it is starting to be reflected very strongly in the jobs numbers. So not only was job growth much slower in July than the estimate, but we actually saw the May and June numbers be revised down 258,000 jobs. So whatever economic growth the Trump regime reported for May and June is not accurate. It has been revised downward significantly. So let's put it this way. The original May report said that we gained 125,000 new jobs, but it was revised down to just 19,000. This steep drop-off in jobs growth could result in the Federal Reserve lowering interest rates when it meets in September. Also, it resulted in stock market futures falling sharply today as well. Heather Long, a chief economist at the Navy Federal Credit Union, said the labor market is deteriorating quickly. She called this jobs report a, quote, game changer. Not in a good way, y'all. And then we saw Donald Trump freak the fuck out over this, right? He does not like any bad news. Now, usually what we see with narcissists is that when an expert tells them something that they don't like, they can just discount that expert's advice. It's not so easy here. So what he did instead, because these numbers are irrefutable, he went and he fired the labor statistics chief for the country. A entirely nonpartisan position. He called her like a Biden loyalist or something, which is complete bullshit. Firing her is really bad. It's really bad. It's big fascism, y'all. Big fascism with a big fat F. She is an independent statistician whose job is to accurately tell us what is happening in the economy. And if Trump is going to fire her wrongfully and put in a loyalist, we now no longer have trustworthy, accurate data about what's happening in the economy. And that creates dramatic ripple effects for everything, for literally everything. It is a tremendously idiotic move on his part that he did because he was pissed. He's having a temper tantrum because somebody brought the numbers to show how bad he's fucking up the economy. He's not making America great again for anybody. Right, you notice that Trump loyalists are afraid to say how devastatingly bad this is. Stephen Moran, who is the Council of Economic Advisors chair, said, there's certainly some elements of this report that I don't think we wanted, and I don't think that anybody wanted really for the U.S. economy. Cool. Well, Republicans, MAGA, you put Donald Trump in charge of that economy. You decided to let him do whatever he wants, including illegally put on tariffs that he has no authority to levy. You're just letting him do that. You let him do whatever he wants. You're letting him do dictator shit, and then you're pissed when the economy is absolutely floundering as a result. MAGA voters, do you feel like America is great again yet? Do you feel like Donald Trump is fulfilling his campaign promises? I mean, first, he's not released the Epstein files like he promised that he would. He didn't lower gas prices. In fact, gas prices are up. He hasn't made eggs affordable yet. He didn't stop that war with Ukraine on day one like he said he would. What campaign promises has he fulfilled? I mean, he's not even fulfilled the immigration promise because he told you that he was going to round up thugs and criminals and make America safer. But what we're seeing is a policy of focusing on non-criminals. And actually, both Barack Obama and Joe Biden did a better job. They were more efficient, saved a lot more money, and rounded up more criminals and got them deported out of this country quicker and better because they focused on criminals. They didn't focus on non-criminals, right? Like Donald Trump going for the people who grow our food, going for our construction workers, going for our food service staff who have committed no crimes, going for asylum seekers, going for the wives of our veterans. That has actually actively slowed down and hampered their ability to round up violent criminals and get them out of this country. So tell me, what campaign promise has Donald Trump kept? In what way is he making America great again? Because look, y'all, where's this era of economic prosperity? The jobs market is down tremendously. The economy is in real bad shape. It was booming under Joe Biden. I know y'all didn't want to look at that, but the economic growth was real good. The jobs numbers were real good under Joe Biden. But you wanted to make America great again. You didn't think it was good under Biden. So you wanted more prosperity under Trump. And instead, what you've got is a lower quality of life, less economic security for everybody in this country because you put Donald Trump in the White House. Right, Donald Trump knows this is bad news for him. There's a reason that he's panicking about the midterms, why he's demanded that Texas gerrymander their map to try and create 10 plus 10 for Republicans, because he knows that what he is doing is destroying loyalty for the Republican Party. We know that what he's doing is pissing off every independent voter in this country. Anybody who swung over to vote for him because they believed the lie he would make America great again, yeah, they're no longer buying that bullshit. So he knows that the only way that Republicans can hold on to power in the midterms is if they cheat. He's crashing out so hard that he fired a highly respected, nonpartisan statistician. Y'all, she can't spin the numbers. She is just reporting the facts, and he could not handle being confronted with the truth. So he fired her. And now we're seeing today that Kevin Hassett, who is one of Donald Trump's loyal economic advisors, said that, quote, the president wants his own people there. Meaning that if Trump gets his way, as long as he's in power, we will never have reliable economic data again. There is no way that our economy can function. There's no way our financial systems can function without that data and without it being reliable. He is perfectly willing, MAGA, are you listening to me? He is perfectly willing to obliterate this economy, obliterate your retirement, make sure that there's nowhere for you or your kids to get hired. He is going to make everything in your life far more painful because he is butthurt that the numbers were accurately reported for May, June, and July. And they show that he is fucking up the economy royally. He could not handle the Bureau of Labor Statistics Commissioner, Erica McIntyre, for sharing accurate information that made him look bad. And so he's willing to blow up all of the economy as a result. That is the fragile man baby that you put in the White House. Of course, y'all, I made a whole video talking about how Donald Trump calls things a hoax or a witch hunt or a scam or fake news when they are accurate and he doesn't like what they have to say, when they make him look bad, when they appropriately accuse him of wrongdoing. And here we see him calling this new report, quote, a scam. He said the numbers were ridiculous. Yeah, because they made it look like you're an incompetent boob and you don't know how to run a country. I get why you wouldn't be able to absorb. I get the cognitive dissonance happening there and why you have to discount what she's saying. And you're so upset. You're so upset and you cannot handle those feelings. So you lashed out and you fired her, Donnie, didn't you? So I understand why there are so many economists who are deeply concerned about this. They are sounding the alarm. It's a bad scene. It's not something that a legitimate president of the United States would do. It's something that a petty dictator who's absolutely butthurt and crashing out would do, with terrible consequences for all of us. But I'm choosing to see this in a more positive light because to me it shows that Donald Trump is not coping well. He understands how much trouble he's in. Everybody else can see how much trouble he's in, and it's not going to go well for him from here on out. His approval ratings go down and down every time. The more people see what he's doing to this country, the more days that go by and the more shit that he can wreck, the worse it's getting for him. And he's dragging all of the Republicans down with him, as he should, because they have all shown that they are a party that is not loyal to the Constitution, is not loyal to our democracy, is not loyal to their constituents. Instead, they are loyal to Donald Trump above all. They are betraying this nation in order to bend the knee to a fascist. Republicans are now a party of fascism, and they should get dragged down with Donald Trump. They should face the consequences of supporting him. So I'm actually not as concerned as other people might be about this report for the jobs numbers, nor about the firing of the Labor Statistics Commissioner, because I think what this ultimately shows is that Trump's grip on power is slipping. He's becoming more unhinged. He's now not only wrecking shit for us, he's wrecking it for himself and the Republicans. This, to me, is a good sign. We need to continue to hammer home all of the talking points. We need Democrats to be a lot more fearless and have a lot more fight in them than they do. But Donald Trump has been real good at creating those unforced errors for himself. He's been real good at pissing people off on his own. And now we've got to figure out how to leverage that better. Because obviously our economy and our nation cannot withstand more of this. He's already shown in 7 short months how disastrous he is. He's never going to make America great again. He's just wrecking everything. Right? And he doesn't like being faced with the numbers that prove that.